Hello, everybody. How's it going? Woo, woo.
What's up, everybody? I'm looking up in the sky like I'm...
That's all right. So how's everybody doing? Are you excited for, what are we at? We're at hump day, you guys. We're at hump day. We are halfway through the 7-day revenue challenge. So first of all, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're brand new, meaning you haven't been on day 1 or 2, welcome. I definitely recommend, we're going to send out an email after today that will give you what we did yesterday. So there's day 1, which is in the group, but I really want you to study what we did yesterday, because yesterday we showed you what to sell. Right? We showed the empathy model on what to sell. Today, we're going to show you how to sell, because if you can't close, then unfortunately, you're not going to be able to bring in the money. So today is a money day. I have my husband with me. And
Yes,
so
hi.
who, by the way, who by accident, and I mean this by accident, meaning it wasn't your intention. He's not on the sales team. It was not his intention to enroll or sell. His intention was just to help and coach. And basically what happened was he had 14 enrollments inside of 1 week. And so I want you to just, or 4 days, sorry.
Yeah,
I just want to bring this to your awareness, because when you know how to build an audience, when you know how to build a list, when you know how to build authority, because the list builds authority, and then you know how to enroll, then, which is really leadership, which he actually runs our leadership department, and it's his baby, it's his world. And when you learn to become a great leader, you actually naturally become great at enrollment and sales. So we're going to focus a lot on that today. Are you guys excited about that? Yes, 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 yes or no? Let me just set the chat up.
Awesome.
Okay, so I'm going to stay on track today. And what I mean by that is I'm going to announce the winners from yesterday. And so, okay, so we have a MacBook Pro winner from yesterday. And you did all the homework. You did the survey. You made Trisha cry on our team. And you are a single mom, and you have so much love for your daughter, Gloria Marcotte. Gloria Marcotte, we are going to be sending you a beautiful MacBook Pro to build your digital business, because the world has definitely gone virtual and is going to continue to go virtual.
Yeah.
So as that's being said, I'm really excited to share that. Here are the cash winners, because I got
money.
we wanted to send you guys some extra cash, because obviously growing a business, you're going to either have to hire mentors, or you're going to have to buy your own MacBook Pro, or, you just need money for different things. At one point, I needed money to just pay for my overhead and where I lived. Yeah. And I went and actually borrowed $5,000 from a police officer who wanted to take me out.
Amazing.
A police officer who wanted to take me out. And I text messaged him and I said, this is how driven I was. I literally text messaged him and I said, I want to do some investments. Mm-hmm. And I said, I'm raising money right now. Are you interested? These are my exact words.
I cannot believe you're looking at me telling me what you told the police officer.
So are you interested in investing $5,000 with me, and I'll pay you back 30% on your money? And his text message response back was, heck yeah, the banks don't even give that return. I didn't even know the banks didn't give that return. I was like, I just needed the money and I thought it was a good deal, right? So I actually started with the empathy model, which is the problem that people are facing in the world, which is they really want to make more money on their money and make it work for them. And then how could you solve that is, I was like, well, if you got a 30% return on your money, it would be great. And so how can I contribute to that? Well, I could be the poor. And so literally that's how I ended up working my way through that process. So Julia Hunter and Amy Van Slambrook. Both of you guys did the homework. You were super focused. We're going to send you guys both $500 each. And depending on who is the most active in the chat today, I'm going to give somebody, and I need you to remind me on this. Yeah. And Trisha and you, if you can watch the chat, both in VIP and in the Facebook group. And I'm going to give 2 people a consultation with my stylist, Carla. And so Carla Perea is going to work with 2 of you guys and work with you on your closet audit, work with you on your styles. And I'm going to tell you something. Before I ever worked with Carla, I wore clothes that were too big for me, and I was trying to hide parts of my body because I felt self-conscious. I know some of you guys do this, okay? You wear like oversized something or whatever. You don't feel good in that outfit. Well, Carla actually had me elevate into the brand that I am today. In fact, she's worked with hundreds of our clients. And at this point, I've seen many of our clients' banners online actually be dressed and styled by her and have huge return on investments. Like I'm talking, and some of them 1,000% return on investment in their cash flow. Can somebody pull down the AC, like crank it down? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And so I'm going to gift that to 2 people who are active in the chat today. So I want to see you engaged. So that doesn't mean writing hi, 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 hi. It doesn't mean going, yeah, 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 yeah. It actually means when we're talking, when something lands, I want you to be engaged. The reason why I'm doing that is because if you actually comment and you're engaged, you're actually putting that into your memory bank. And so I'm looking for someone to be engaged. And let's be honest, multitasking on our phones while we're watching things digital
doesn't work.
And it's hard not to do.
Yeah,
it's hard not to do. Okay, so
here's the other thing it does is it gets you engaged in terms of like listening for value. Yeah. So just listen.
Can you guys hear us? Are we connected here?
Yeah, we're connected.
Are we connected on Facebook?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Hey guys, we're back. Can you see us? Yes, yes, yes. We're good to go. Yes, we're back.
Okay, good. Let's just make sure that we're.
It's probably the elections. You know, it's like
Okay, so let's actually go into that for a second. So really quickly, yesterday we talked about. You guys, are we?
Yeah, we're good to go, honey.
No, but we're in a black screen over here.
Here, gallery view. Boom. Now we're good.
It's your own page.
Can you look at please? Okay, hold on. Why, when I click on speaker, it's spotty? Why is that? Okay. So, okay, perfect. Okay, great. So sorry about that, you guys. Okay, so let me give you a personal moment. I am wearing a headband and I have my hair like this because we found out our son had lice yesterday. So we were delicing our entire house, and we've got a delicer coming at 5:30 today.
Lice expert.
A lice expert. Only in our group of friends yes, do people actually send us a delicer. So we have a professional delicer coming, even though we were delicing our son this morning and my husband. But my hair's up in a ponytail because that's
make sure you keep your hair away from this shoulder, baby.
That's what my
I've already done my shampoo. Go.
So I wanted to share that with you guys because actually I thought it was kind of funny. My husband was a star and amazing because I said to him this morning, I said, you are amazing that you just jumped in there, grabbed our son, went in the shower and started delicing him. And I'm like, you are a good man. You are a good man. As I was freaking out.
That's great.
Okay. So,
thanks, babe.
So before we jump into to closing, let's when I use the word closer, know that I am heart-centered. I really believe that a really great enrollment is really great leadership. And who hates pop-ups out there? Who hates like the pop-ups that pop up on websites? Me. Okay, so with love, get over it. Okay, because you got to get over it. Because if you had a pop-up, say you were losing your marriage and or your relationship, and you really deep down in your core, if it could work out, you would just be so happy. And you landed on a website because maybe you were Googling how to unconsciously uncouple or something like that. And a pop-up popped up on the website that said, maybe your divorce could be saved with this one thing in communication that could put your marriage back on track or your relationship back on track. And you would be thankful about the pop-up. And so when we don't like pop-ups, we're either on the wrong sites and we're probably wasting time searching versus being intentional about going after education that we care about that really is a priority for us, or we are not the ideal buyer. for them, because when a good pops up, it's actually a blessing for them. So Ash and I we don't think we can go on with this training without even just announcing something. Obviously, there is a huge election going on in the world right now. And we're not going to get into a political battle, but we are going to say that my husband stayed up all night. I woke up and he was not in the bed, and I was like, "What are you doing? You got to train with me," because I get up at 4:00 in the morning, and I get up and like, "You have been up all night?" And he's like flicking back and forth between CNN, constant negative news, and Fox, and he's like, "We have to not." What would you say? What did you say this morning about the divide?
The thing is, so one, CNN is obviously like all enrolled in what their election they want to create, and Fox is all enrolled in the election they want to create. And the only thing I heard that they had in common in terms of like real news is that the country is divided. The country is divided. The country is divided. So I'm like, I gotta say something.
So Ash, I wake up and Ash is like, we have to not buy this story that the world is divided. But the truth is whatever president gets in, we still have a world of division. And so remember when we did the empathy model yesterday? I don't know if you can zoom in on this at all. Can you guys see it really well, the empathy model? So remember when we did the empathy model? I really want you to get this, and I want you to re-listen to what I trained yesterday. My husband and I were walking through this today again, and it was like, the problem that you see in the world.
Yeah, is that there's this news and information that the one thing that these both entities having. Let me jump on this side. Is that better? The problem that everybody has, the problem I saw is that they all see one problem, and that is the country is divided. And they're giving the news and information, and they're selling you on a story that the country is divided and you're divided as a community.
Well, but also the problem that Ash saw was that no matter what president gets into presidency,
they can't get anything done.
We still have a country of division, and people are fighting, and they're fighting based on their belief systems. And so how does any leader move a country forward when you have a split down the middle? So just think about that conceptually. Think about your home, and if you have a husband and wife that are fighting, what does that do to the rest of the community in the home? Think about like a friendship base, and you're at a party, or even back in high school when you've got the group of kids that like picks on the other group, you've got this divide. So you got to see this, because this is really important. Totally. So now you got, okay, great. How does a leader, the problem is no leader can really move it forward without massive fighting. The solution that Ash said was, people have to.
We got to stand united. I mean, so we got to stand united. But the solution really is you've got to let go of your belief system. So once the election is complete and we have a clear leader, you got to let go of a belief system. You got to let go of what you're attached to in the agenda of what you're attached to with the political campaign. Let go of that agenda. Let go of everything. And really, you got to look at, where are some areas that I could create an alignment with what the political party that's in power?
So now let me like clear this up for you. So you got the problem of, you've got everybody's fighting 50%. Nobody's going to be able to drive this and drive this well. And then you've got my husband saying, well, we have to, as a society, stand up together, let go of our judgments, our assessments, and even our beliefs, which is like, we've been trained to like stand on our beliefs, right? But how are you going to be able to turn around and look at whoever the president is and find, how am I going to align with this leader? We teach this stuff in HCL on a huge level. How are you going to align with whoever's been chosen? And this actually happens in our rooms, and we show how much work can be done, how much of a difference can be created in the world when you could go, okay, I don't agree with you on this topic. Yeah. We've had this in our marriage, right? Where we're like, I don't agree. On our trust and on our trust for our family. It's like, we don't agree on some things, but we will get into alignment with each other and go, okay, here's where I can align with you. And that's not happening right now. People are trying to run like Trump people, like people over on the side of the road because of their belief systems, like crazy stuff, right? So that's what he says needs to be the solution. So then it's like, what can I do? Right? Like, how can it be solved, and what can I do to solve the problem? Well, obviously you can't solve everything, but you can have a voice, right? And so what he could do, it's what he does do, which is HCL, right? Show people how to communicate in a way that they can create peace and unity. And we're going to go into enrollment and sales, but create peace and unity inside of your homes, inside of your friendships. People are afraid to tell each other who they voted for.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's not leadership. They're afraid to tell who they voted for because they don't want to get their ass kicked, right? About who they voted
or
for.
get rejected.
We have gotten phone calls from our clients that have said, "Oh my God, like I have 3 friends that are going through HCL, and 2 of them messaged me and said, I can't do HCL if Trump gets in." And I'm like, how does that even relate? Like that'd be like somebody calling me saying, "I can't do business coaching if Biden gets in." It's like, how does that even relate? Do you know what I mean? And so we emotionally make decisions, or we get so upset about the decisions going on in our space. And by the way, this goes into sales, because when someone rejects you and says no, or someone doesn't show up to a webinar to listen to you do a presentation, or, you know, someone you love, like a husband and wife, and he wants to go have a little whoopee, and I'm like, oh, I can't do it right now. Like that rejection. What we do is we shut down, or we get angry, or we go into isolation, and this absolutely kills your commitment to what it is that you want. Do not sell out on your dreams for a cheap emotion.
That's right.
Do not sell out on your dreams for a cheap emotion. Rise above it so you can figure out, okay, this is what it looks like right now. How do I figure out how to solve this problem? So now we're going to move into enrollment. We're going to move into sales. Okay. So now remember, I'm giving 2 people, stylists. With my stylist, you're going to hang out with my stylist. She's going to help you figure out your look and your style for your brand.
What's the value of that? Let them know what the value of that is.
I think she charges $1,000 for that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pay for that with our stylist for you. And I want to see you engage. I want to see you pay attention to the value that we're speaking, because the only reason why someone doesn't buy, if they give you write this down, if someone gives you a money objection, it's because there's missing value, which means you have to do a better job at actually communicating the value of whatever it is that you offer. Sometimes that's in like your certainty, because you haven't done this model and you're selling, like Ash said, most people like to hang out in a conversation of the problem and how things should be solved, but they don't get off their butt and do anything and make any offers to make a difference.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? This is why sales is a contribution. This is your contribution. Another group of people, they hang out in, well, I really believe that people should get in really great shape so that they don't end up with a critical illness. And that's why I have this program. But you didn't set up any positioning in the problem, right? So if you don't know what I'm talking about, you got to watch yesterday.
Your client has no idea. Your client is totally disconnected to their problem, which doesn't work either. So
That's right. That's right. So remember, the problem is really your positioning. And if you want to create a great talk in the world, a great presentation, you have to go in this order. This is how you create strong leadership. You have to go in this order. Okay. What's the problem? Sets the context. What needs to be the solution? And then what is your solution? So if you did yesterday's homework, who did yesterday's homework? I want to hear right now. Who did yesterday's homework? Awesome. Okay, great. So if you did yesterday's homework, then today's homework is going to be easy. If you did not do yesterday's homework, today's homework may or may not be a little bit more challenging. And so successful people start, they fulfill. They may lose a little bit of momentum in the middle, but they get realigned really quickly, and they finish. You don't want to just be a good starter. You want to be a good finisher. So if you have come into this challenge in the middle right now, you need to go back and at least listen to yesterday's training, because I taught that model. And it's critically important. And from that, I showed you what to sell and showed you how to create a course really quickly or a product really quickly from that. And so today, let's talk about sales. So I want to hot seat somebody right now, and we're going to start that way. Danielle Willis, we're going to hot seat you.
There
you are.
We got to
Let's see. Yeah.
There we go.
All right. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Awesome. So great to have you. And first of all, welcome to the community. I heard that your coach, by the way, reached out to us and said, could you please hot seat Danielle? So that's the power of our community. I said, well, why? And she literally said to me, she goes, well, first of all, she's a business coach in New York. She's struggling with enrollment and sales, and she doesn't have an email list, which is why I guess she joined PACE with us. And she said, you're an amazing mom. And you're coach is a mom of
Awesome.
3 people, so 3 little people.
She crushes it too.
She's just incredible. So welcome to our community. Welcome to PACE. And I just want to pour into you. So tell me a little bit about your business coach.
Yes.
Okay, great. So first and foremost, are you selling something in business that you feel absolutely certain about?
Yes.
Okay, so what is it?
I sell right now a 3-month program, a 3-month coaching program.
Okay, guys, and you're in our programs now, so you're fair game for us to be really strong on your coaching. Okay, so we never want to start. You started with the content and the structure. And so do you guys hear what I'm saying here? She has a 3-month program. She sells business. My question was, are you selling something that you feel very convicted in? And it's a 3-month program. That doesn't tell me anything, right? There's no vision there. It's not connected to
value.
the empathy model where you're about like people first, which I'm sure you are, right? But this is what we do. We hang out in the content. And it's like, what result does your content get people?
It actually gives them clarity to get their first 5 clients in like 3 simple steps.
Okay, great. So can I ask you a qualifying question? If you're having challenge with sales and enrollment, how does that play in with their first 5 clients?
Can you rephrase that question?
Do you want to say it?
No,
so when you're selling something, and this is for everyone, right? And my goal is to be a great coach. If you're selling something that you're having a challenge with sales and enrollment, how are you promising somebody their first 3 to 5 clients?
Because they're not necessarily paid, depends on where they're at. And I have worked with clients where they've gotten better results than I've gotten. So I believe that I still am able to help them get results.
Deeper than that, let me see how. How do you do that? What's your process?
Basically, I walk through where they currently are, what stage they are in their business. I typically work with early entrepreneurs. So these are people who have just either made the conversion, maybe left corporate, maybe did whatever. They have decided to start an online business or a service-based type business and really are struggling, usually in the early steps with clarity, finding out exactly what they want to do, what their target is, and exactly how to be visible. So I pretty much I speak with them, see what they're doing, if they're even on a platform, if they're not on a platform, kind of talk to them about how they've actually been doing any marketing, and kind of give them a little clarity about how they can focus down, how they can drill from getting from point A, their client from point A to point B, actually deciding on who it is that they're targeting, because a lot of them, from what I've experienced, are having those issues.
So you know why I'm asking the question, right? Because I can teach enrollment all day long, but it's like if I sold, so like I have a guy who helps me, like obviously I have pretty decent sized platforms, Instagram, Facebook, I have pretty good sized platforms. But the truth is that I don't teach influencer marketing per se. Travis does. And Travis is someone who teaches me, Jay Shetty, the girl with conscious parenting. Yeah. He's worked on Lewis Howell, like a lot of our platforms that have exploded. He's kind of a secret sauce behind a lot of those. And so, he comes in and helps some of our clients on this, and he's just incredible. But like, I know what I've learned from Travis, but I don't even close to know what Travis knows. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? So if I went to sell you guys an influencer marketing workshop, I wouldn't have the power behind it because I don't really have, I have the results, but I don't really have, I don't know what, even my husband asked me this morning, he said, when's Travis's workshop coming up in December? Because I want to go do it. Yeah. And we live together. You know what I mean? So I share this is for everyone, not just, is it Danielle or Daniela? Danielle, not just Danielle. It's really important that we all enroll in something that we have massive certainty behind. Massive. So there's pieces, Danielle, on what you're teaching this new entrepreneur that I heard, like helping them really get clear about who their avatar is, helping them get clear about whatever platform they want to work on so that they can connect with their right, buyer or audience. Those are you're helping them with the whole foundational piece to be able to set themselves up to receive clients. Right. And so there's so much integrity and honesty in that, because you're really not teaching enrollment, because you're still having a challenge with enrollment. So for you to teach enrollment and even sell enrollment, you're going to have this pressure on yourself that if they don't get the result, it's going to be like, if I said to you, like, what do you,
what will
what
happen is, can I just talk?
Yeah,
about
yeah. One thing.
Okay.
Say I said to you, I want you to charge $3,000 a month, and I want you to do that for 10 months with them. That's where value starts to become a problem, because you're like, well, I can't guarantee they're going to get those 5 clients. So, like, that's where it starts to break up emotionally. And this is where emotions start kicking our butt when it comes to really scaling. So it's not just the idea, the good idea, it's that. So do that empathy model from yesterday. Okay. That I taught yesterday, do it, study what I taught Eva in the hot seat, and really study it and fine tune that. And let's get into your enrollment piece.
Yeah. And I will say this. So if the certainty, so I'll go a step further. So for me, if you're enrolling in anything that is, your self-worth conversation will come up, because if you don't have the certainty piece and you're not in the game of it, growing in that area, if you're not growing then it makes it really difficult to give. So if you're not certain about, and you're not creating the results that you're certain about, you have a history of it, you have authority in it, you're causing it, like, how will you ever be able to enroll others in that conversation? Your mind, your emotions, all those things will like, when they say, well, I'm not sure, you can't stand, like, I'm certain I could get you there. Like, what are you doing? You crazy? Like, anytime I talk to someone on the phone, I ask them the first question is like, for what we do, I'll go, okay, well, here, what's stopping you from you? What's stopping you in terms of mechanically building your business? And anytime I hear someone that doesn't have a list of over 100 people, I can't let them off the line.
Yeah, more than 100 people. So like 5%.
500 people. Like, you just
95% of you guys on the survey do not have a list of 5,000. If I made you an offer right now and to actually do that, and you didn't find a way to take that offer, whether it was $10,000, $20,000, $500, if you didn't find a way to take that offer, like, that would be insane. But the truth is, Danielle, that people won't find a way. Like, if I made that offer right now, but at least I can stand here in crazy certainty and say, all honesty, you will not create a big business if you do not have a buyer's list. You will not. And so that certainty that he's talking about, you don't even get into pushiness or having to be perfect in your enrollment. You stand as a strong leader, like, as if, you had children, like if you had a child that was about to cross the street and you saw that a Mack truck was going to kill them if they walked across the street, you would be so certain you are not walking across that street.
Yeah.
And that creates conviction in actually being able to enroll. So everybody wants to learn the formula, which we're going to teach you guys more formula. But the truth is the starting place, which is why we started with the empathy model yesterday. The starting place has to be so rock solid that it's like, I'm telling you, I know these stats. They keep showing up the same all the time. I go speak at my friends' events and I'm like, how many of you guys have an email list of 5,000 more? Raise your hand. It's like in a group of 2,000 people, there's like literally 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, I want to say, I love my friend, but don't hire my friend yet. Come hire me first, then hire my friend next year.
It'd be like a McDonald's without a highway next to it. I mean, that's what it is. Like, you cannot have a McDonald's without a highway, because there's no customers that are begging for food because they're in a dry desert.
Exactly.
Driving on a highway.
So Danielle, so you can revisit that piece, but there's pieces in what you said that I think are highly valuable that people would pay very, very good money for. Like knowing their avatar, people pay insane amounts of money to know their avatar. Like, let me ask in the group right now, how many of you guys right now that if you feel like if you knew exactly who your ideal customer or client was, your niche, that you would just really be able to take the next step? You'd feel really, really powerful about that. So Danielle, look in the chat right now. Do you see that? So those are all $10,000 buyers right there. Whether they think they have the money or not, those are all $10,000 buyers right there. because they believe that and they have it in their gut that I got to figure this out. And you know how strong entrepreneurs are. It's like, we know what we need, you know? And so until they get that, they're going to feel stuck. And that stuck energy, how long are they going to wait in that stuck energy?
Yeah.
They'll eventually get tired of it. And so then you come along, do a presentation on how to figure out your niche and your avatar, and then connect it with the platforms, and then offer an opportunity to be able to work with you for the next 90 days. And you've got assurance. When you say, okay, let me show you get your first 5 clients, not that that won't sell. And it's not like some people won't get great results, because the ones that work with you that already have strong leadership will get great results, because they get great results with everyone. Do you get what I'm saying? And so that extra help and accountability will support them, but it's going to screw with your certainty as long as you're having an enrollment challenge. Okay. So,
and what's beautiful about that is now you can focus in on growing in that area of mastering.
yeah. So what do you think your number one challenge is other than that with enrollment?
Just the converting, I believe that even though they get value from maybe like the quick session that we do, when those limiting beliefs start to arise, and even if I begin to coach on addressing that limiting belief, or I've even had people who have even spoken about the limiting belief, or speaking about that they know that they need the support to move forward in their business. However, they're still not willing to invest. So I think converting,
invest.
Yeah.
Investing. So you're basically saying that they have a money problem, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Ash, speak into this.
Well, anytime someone says, so there's the top 3, by the way, all objections come down to, really, for me, it comes down to 3 things: time, money, and energy. Those are the top 3 objections.
And energy, by the way, is I don't have the support.
I don't have the support. I don't have the time. I'm too busy. It's like all of that to me is time, money, energy. And money and all those things come down to really one objection. You know what the number one objection is? I'm afraid. That's it. I'm afraid. So anytime you hear, I hear money often, but any of those things that come up, it means I don't see the value. I don't see the plan. I don't see where we're going.
Yeah.
That's all.
And so let me break up what he's saying. When I say I don't see the plan, that's coming down to money all the time. That's always going to be a money objection. So like we say to our salespeople, if somebody says they have a money objection, I don't want them to actually focus on helping you find the money. Everybody, if you need to find the money, sit down tonight, write down 50 ways to find the money. You might get stuck at 20 or 25. Make yourself sit there until you actually fill out 50 ways to find the money. There is always 50 ways to find the money for anything that you want. Always. Okay. Now you might need a little leadership to be able to execute on some of those, because maybe you are afraid to send the text message to the guy who tried to ask you out at one time, or you know what I mean? Like you got these blocks emotionally that stop you from doing it, but the money's still sitting there. You know, you're the breakdown in the emotion to get there. So time, you know, and energy. I love how you said that with energy. Ash actually, like if you give Ash like a story, an excuse, if you tell Ash that you want one of our programs, products, and services, and he believes you're going to rock it in that. And I know this because he's enrolled 2 people in my 1% club, and I'm not taking clients in my 1% club. And he will follow me around the house for days and have them in the wings waiting with a deposit. Like they'll put down a deposit, and he's like, they've already put down a deposit, and he will follow me around the house for days, enrolling me on why I need to take this customer or client. And he always gets me. Like you do, you always get me.
I don't get you. I support you.
You got me. The reason why I say that is because he won't stop me from he makes me give more. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm saying? And so when he really believes in someone, he doesn't hear the objection. So he doesn't hear mine because he knows I'm capable. He sees me every single day. He's like, I know you're capable, right? And then with the customer client, he thinks it's crazy that you don't have any objection. He doesn't take it as rejection at all. He's like, I'm always amazed by you, because it's like Zig Ziglar talks about this. He says when his wife wanted a house,
I remember
she wanted a house, and it was $40,000 more than he could afford. And she just started to she just basically, when he'd say, I don't have the money for that, she would say, I know, honey, but let's just meet with the builder.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, and she got what she wanted, and they lived in this beautiful home that appreciated, and their family was super happy in it, but we stop ourselves from being happy.
Yeah. Well, the only path to generating a yes and a win-win is to go through that resistance.
Yeah.
Because I mean, look at the politics today. Look at everything. We naturally have resistance. So you've got to anticipate the resistance. Anticipate
That's
it.
exactly it.
Not from a perspective of like,
That's a tweetable moment right now. You should write that down. Like, anticipate the resistance.
anticipate the resistance. Because if you anticipate the resistance, then you can have a plan for it. If you don't anticipate it, then you're in shock and awe. And what happens is your emotions and your mind just takes over on automatic pilot. When you anticipate the resistance, you can know this is coming, and I'm going to work with this. I'm going to create workability. I'm going to generate something. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to move it forward, one step forward today, 1 inch forward today. And then you create a forward momentum. But I do want to say this: when you get the time, money, and energy objection or resistance, it's not even an objection. It's not in us to just say yes easily. When you get that, all it's telling you is your counterpart, the person you're speaking to, doesn't feel safe. That's it.
And so then you have to find that within yourself to help them feel safe.
Now it's your job to do your work to create the safety.
So Danielle, tell me really quick, let me create an offer for you to convert, okay? Because I think that's what you're wanting from us. You still have to do all the work we just talked about. So you should rewatch this. And everybody else, who's this making a difference for right now? Are you seeing yourself in this coaching? Okay, so do not sell something that you don't have massive conviction in because it sounds good. Right. And Danielle, I think you're selling a little bit of what sounds good and your intention versus like valuing what you actually have mastered and who you are, and selling from that place and saying, this is good enough, right? This is valuable.
Yeah.
Then secondly, what Ash said, people are not feeling safe. No different than if you scared a little child, you would stop and say, what do I have to do intuitively to make this child feel safe again? You just think about humans like that. We don't do that. We're like, oh, you don't love me. You rejected me. You know what I mean? Or, oh my God, I suck at sales. And so they rejected me. I'm going to, okay, bye. You know what I mean?
You just run away. You either run away or you fight. And when you do that, you're running with your agenda versus.
Yeah. So anticipate the resistance. Okay. Now, Danielle, when I look at, what are you selling at right now? Price point?
$4,000.
Okay. 4,000 for 90 days? Yes. Or what is it? Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
12 weeks.
So 4K for 90 days. Okay. So a great cash injection. If you're having a challenge with enrollment, I'm going to recommend first, you're going to build an email list with us right now. So I'm going to actually recommend, because of everything going on in the world, do a one-day summit first. You guys are going to teach this type of stuff tomorrow on different ways of finding buyers. I want you to do a one-day summit, talk to your coach and Pace about this. And I'd like you to get 8 to 10.
I'm always saying 10. Right?
Yeah, 8 to 10 experts to actually work with on this. I think you should do something on finding your niche, your avatar, and getting your first 5 clients. Put all that together, and you're going to do that as your workshop. Okay, your one-day summit.
Yeah.
Have the one-day summit be a virtual conference. Call it a virtual conference. Okay. So you got your one-day summit or one-day virtual conference, right? Then what I would like you to do on the thank you page is I would like you to use that as buyable real estate, which means do not send out any replays for your free masterclass, your free virtual summit, okay? Virtual conference. On the thank you page, I would say $47 to $97, maybe even $77. Test those numbers. $77, I feel like would be great. Do $77 for the replays. With the replays, add something. Add some sort of an avatar class with you or a niche class. So you get the replays, plus you get a 2-hour class with you on discovering your niche, because it's what you're good at, discovering your niche. It ties into your title of your virtual conference. That's a perfect offer. super serving, it's empathetic, it's helping them get more clear. All the way along the line, people are choosing in that it's a priority for them to do this. There's a lot of looky-loos. There's a lot of people. We had 34,000 people sign up for this challenge. Okay, we have 500 of you that are VIPs. Just figure out that math.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you think about that for a second, and I'm not saying that people who didn't do VIP are not motivated, but you are a lot more motivated and trusting, which is a combination for success, because skeptical thinking is not it's an analytical strength for like looking at contracts, but it's not a good growth. Right. It's not good for growth, right? It's good for COO, legal, litigating.
It's good for scaling. It's good for leveraging scaling, but it's not great for starting.
It's not great for growing. It's not great for growing at all. Okay, so now you're going to monetize right here in your first month in Pace, which is great. Good chance you're gonna more than pay for your first 2 months of Pace. There's a really good chance. Definitely your first month, which would be great. Okay, then I recommend that 4,000 for 90 days is pretty good. I mean, that's actually a pretty nice price point. I like that. Yeah. I would survey this entire list. And we'll teach you that in Pace. There's a whole module on it, but you can sit with your coach, which is the great thing. You're in a pod now. You guys, we realized anybody who's doing any coaching out there, there's a mindset around one-on-one coaching is better. We have proven that to be incorrect. Pod coaching, even my private clients are in pod coaching. You think about whenever you get emotional and you get in a slump, it's really hard for someone to like talk you out of a slump. Right? Like, it's just like you have your process. But when you're in a pod, it's really odd if you ever have like 2 people in a pod. They're small pods, right? Small groups of 2, 3, 5 people. It's really hard for more than one person to be in a slump. If there's 2 still, the rest of the group's going to pull them out. So you get out of your slump quicker. So just keep that in mind. If you are a coach or consultant, we've got all the data to prove that now. So if you survey them and take this 90-day program, I think that if you, from the survey, pull the specifics that they say, like it's like our survey, right? So 25% of you guys, 25% of you guys want to create something else. You have a job and you want to create something else. 35% of you guys are just starting a business right now. 25% of you guys have been in business for a while. 15% of you guys have lost your job and are looking for a new path. I need to see that lost your job and new path grow in percentage before I launch a product around that. And I can't wait to launch a product around that. But I'm waiting because it doesn't make sense right now for me to launch a product around that, because that group still hasn't gotten motivated enough. They're still thinking, well, yeah, they're still thinking, am I going to get another job? They're not realizing the job market's like, you know what I mean? Like, artificial intelligence is taking it out. 4 years from now, there'll be no more Uber drivers. Okay. So, and these are not my facts, they're real facts. Okay. 5% of you guys are employees and you're looking for a new path. So I got about 20%, so it's starting to get up there. I got 20% that are basically lost the job or looking for a new path. So I'm watching that group, you know what I mean? Because I get another 10% in that group on a survey, I'm launching a product, right? So I want to launch this product, been wanting to launch this product for 2 years. And this is why working off your inspiration is a real problem. Because if I would have launched that product, it wouldn't have sold. Yeah. And it's still, I won't get the numbers in it yet that I want. And so for me to take time away from my other part of my business to launch something, even though they can all go in List Power, they could all go in our PACE program, I still haven't launched the front end messaging to match that group. Mm-hmm. Are you guys picking this up? Right? This is why having a list is so critical, because I have this data. Okay, so when you have this data, Danielle, we just take this program and re-engineer it to match the data of the list, and then we go sell it. Now, what's really important is I do like 20-minute bonuses I do 1-day daily bonuses. I do stuff like that all the time. So whether I'm on the phone with somebody or I'm doing a live like this, if I wanted to pop an offer out right now and say, hey, if you want to join my list power train, like I would make the offer, tell you what was in it. And then I would say, so for the next 20 minutes, and I give a stupidly crazy bonus, right? And most of the time, they're 95% of the time, they're different. Right? So we want to come up with, what is this bonus? What I honestly recommend is while you're doing the summit, ask a question like this, and I'll ask everybody. And I want you all to see this so that I'm doing it, right? If you could ask me for anything in the world around building your business, it could be, Shanda, I want to come live with you. I want to live with you for a week, and I want you to just I want to see how you run your business, or I want to be trained by your sales team, or I want anything. So what would it be? Just put it, okay, I want to shadow you. I want Ash to teach me. Go put something down, you guys, choose something. This is where you can use a voice. For God's sakes, America is showing that people have not used their voice to influence anything. That's why everybody's quiet about who they voted, right? So use your voice right now. If you could ask me for anything, like figuring out how to understand your numbers, your pay for your virtual assistants, set up your tech. What do you want from me? What do you want from me? Okay, so see, Danielle and everybody else on Facebook or in the VIP, look at what's happening right now. So when you do a live or when you have a list, you want to ask these questions. So what I would do, and Ben, we should do this, right? We should go and we should pull all of the chat of what people are. So I've seen multiple times, I'd like to shadow you.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to follow you for 1 month. I would like to hire a team to help me, which is probably a virtual assistant. All of you guys need virtual assistants. You should not, nobody should be setting up registration pages online, sending out emails, uploading blogs. Nobody should ever do that stuff.
VIP.
That is not a CEO's job. And if you can't talk to somebody on a phone or do a live or do an educational piece, if you stop doing that because you're doing admin work, like setting up a blog, or you know what I'm saying? Like even scheduling yourself. I don't even schedule myself. And I am so thankful that I started that right from the beginning when I had no money in this business. I was like, I know that I should never learn this because then I'm going to have to let go of control, which was hard for me. And so if I never learn it in the first place, then I don't have to let go of control. I just have to focus on an enrollment to pay for that person to work with me for the month. You know what I mean?
Together in Barbados is in here.
Oh, I love that. So we have a house in Barbados.
That's funny.
So what we should do, thank you. What we should do right now is we should copy all of that in the chat so that we know what people want. Now I'll take that and I will look at my bonuses and I would add a bonus. So imagine if I made an offer for, let's say, List Power to teach you how to build buyers, or Pace, like Danielle's in. I make the offer, blah, 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 blah. Then I could say for the next 20 minutes or for today until midnight, I'm going to offer an opportunity. Whoever jumps in, this is not an offer, by the way, but whoever jumps in, I'll let you shadow me for a week, or I'll let you have access to me on Voxer for a week, or I'll have my sales team train you. I'll have Ash train you for 60 days to cash, right? We just did something called 60 days to cash that our customer base asked us for, and they created hundreds of thousands of dollars with people who could not sell before they worked with Ash and Steven. Right? And in 60 days, they created insane results. So I need that, right? Wow, 60 days to cash, right? So do you see that feedback? So when you get that feedback, you no longer make offers that don't convert, because the offer is great because it's based on what people have asked for. This is why it drives me so crazy when entrepreneurs pick the wrong thing to focus on, right? Because you think you need a blog or a podcast or writing a book. And I'm like, God, you don't even have any cash. Build an email list. Learn how to sell to that email list. Then go do all that get famous stuff, right? Then go do all that. When you actually have the money to pay for people like Travis who helps us become an influencer. I didn't sit through hours of learning how to run Instagram and learning how to run Facebook and learning how to run groups. Are you kidding me? I was way too busy enrolling, building lists, and growing my company base, right? Making money. And then I pay someone like Travis to show me how to become an influencer and to mentor me. And then he handles all of that stuff for me and it's done. Is that not cool?
Awesome.
Yes? Awesome. Okay, so Danielle, what did you hear us say?
I kind of been doing everything ass backwards, pretty
Yes,
much
yeah.
from what you shared. But you've definitely, I've heard about to do the 1 day summit. So start off with a 1 day summit, get about 8 to 10 experts to help me run that event, call it a virtual conference, create the thank you page, and then maybe sell the replays for like $77.
Right.
Right, survey them, and then also during the summit, initiate a bonus.
Awesome. All right, Danielle. See you inside Pace, girl.
So much. All right. Bye.
Okay, so here's what I want to ask you. If you're in a position that you would love some coaching from us, and I don't mean inside of our programs, however, you can always ask the coach. We were able to set up a coach's corner for 2 days for you guys. So are you guys interested in that? Would you like access to our coaching department? It's not our entire coaching department, but it's a few, we've created, I think we have 125 spots or something. So we've got a couple days. It's 2 or 3 days. I asked them to open up till Tuesday. I don't know if that's possible. I didn't get an answer on that, but here's what we can do. So we've got a link called virtualcoachzone.com. Can you guys drop it both in VIP and in the Facebook group? It is there. Okay, you don't get to get upset if there's not space. So don't wait till afterwards to go to this link, because whenever I open up a coach's corner, it gets flooded. Okay, and so I do my best to support you on the revenue challenge. If you get clear about your plan and you get strong and certain in your offer, you become a closer. Right? You become a closer, which is not a bad word. You become a closer and you know how to build your list, which we're going to talk about tomorrow. And you know how to do the empathy model that we did yesterday, and you do the 10 minutes to confidence that we talked about on day 1. This stuff is going to stack up and you are going to become an influencer of whatever mission that you want. And I also know that it helps for you to get clarity and actually talk to someone. And so we're making our Coach's Corner available for you. So virtualcoachzone.com is the link. Virtualcoachzone.com is the link. I can see Trisha popping it in here. You can look for Trisha Fox, you guys in VIP. I don't know who's posting it in the Facebook group, but go ahead and actually grab a spot there. And then if you're interested, I'm not going to talk about PACE. I'm not going to talk our last challenge. People are like, tell me about PACE. I'm like, I'm not going to talk about our PACE program. I'm not going to talk about our leadership program. I will share some information about our list building program, because I have an intensive coming up this month, which I think is an epic opportunity for you to learn how to build a list. I will talk about that at some point and share information about that. But you're always welcome to talk to the coach and say, hey, would you share some more detail about PACE, our PACE program, or some more detail about the leadership program? So feel free. The coaches are totally willing to connect you with the right person to be able to get help on making a decision if you wanted to go in one of those programs. Okay. The reason why I'm sharing this with you is because my customer service keeps getting flooded with your homework, and it keeps getting flooded with information of very driven entrepreneurs like you that are asking for more details on these programs. So we're not going to talk about on the challenge because I want to stay focused on the revenue challenge. Okay. So what are you hearing us say at this point? What's starting to land for you? What's starting to land for you? Dan's like, HCL is where it's at. List. Good. Build a list. Great. Awesome. Okay, good. So we've got about another 6 minutes. Do you want to do another quick hot seat?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, let's do another quick hot seat, and then we will end. So you got to watch the time, because
Hot seat.
we're gonna pick somebody now.
We're gonna pick somebody.
How about Teresa? Oh, I saw Teresa. There you are. Teresa, go for it. I just unmuted you. You have to unmute yourself when I click on you. I'm clicking on you right now. You've got to unmute yourself.
Okay.
Hopefully, is there someone who can unmute her?
Gonna help us. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on your side now, Teresa.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so Teresa, here's what I'm going to do because I don't want you to be disappointed. I'm going to set you up with Ash to do a coaching session.
I love you.
Okay, so let's go. Amy Day. Amy Day, let's go.
Again.
You got to be,
Yeah,
You
I'm,
gotta-
I'm unmuted, I think.
yep, you're
Shows
all
unmuted.
set.
Here we go.
All right.
Okay, great.
So here's my problem. I have this, did the homework yesterday, and I'm seeing people feeling super disorganized and feeling like there is no status quo, like rug pulled out.
Okay, I don't want to go through all that piece right now. Tell me what gets in your way with sales.
What gets in my way with sales is I do not have a clear product. Like I don't have the magical words to say to somebody to get their pain, to get them.
Talk about the magical words, babe.
No, Ash.
That's actually not true.
Okay.
That's actually not true.
Okay.
That's just that's why it
I'll
hasn't.
let you roll with it.
Yeah, got it. So that's
Go.
actually not true. That's why it's created. So the problems you wrote down, like how, like they're
Yep.
like what they're feeling, you know, all that,
Yep.
that stuff, the magical words. Because when you say that stuff, your ideal client goes, "Oh my gosh, she knows me.
Okay.
How's it she knows me?" Did you get that?
Okay. Yeah.
So those magical words of what the problem is and the solution, those are actually your program. That is actually what you create for people.
Right. Well, and that's what I have. I've created it. I have pods. I did a class, I did a pod.
Great.
And then it's like, but I can't repeat it. I'm building my list right now, but
So first of all, just notice everything you're saying is I can't.
Right.
So you're not sitting in it. You're not, your leadership is really what's missing here.
Okay.
You're not sitting in it committed to like, I've got it and I just got to come out. You're not sitting with it to generate that. You're sitting in, I can't, I'm not able to do it. I need magical words, not my words. You need your words. You need who you are. You already know who you are. You've already done this. So it's your confidence. What I'm hearing is your confidence. So that's what's occurring.
well, and what I've seen, and maybe it's just a story, right? I've seen that I can run it once and then I can't get it to take up again. Right.
Yeah. So you got to sit with listen, this is the empathy model that Shanda outlined for you is actually how you generate that. So I'm looking back.
I already did. Yeah, I did. So
you have the problem. You have the problems.
Yep.
You have the solutions.
Yep.
Okay.
But I came up with
What's the process that gets you there?
right. Yeah,
What's
I got that.
Okay, you've got that. What is it? Is it 3 steps, 4 steps, 7
It's
steps?
4
What is it?
steps. Well, so I just created something yesterday called How to Make My Home Work.
Okay.
And it's a process for, go ahead.
So what's the process? What's the steps in the process?
The process is identifying, it's the VITA method. It's what I teach.
Okay.
Identifying
So the
who you
VITA
are and what you
method,
care
okay.
about.
So nobody understands what VITA method is except for
Right.
you. So
Okay.
you've got to actually express it in a way that they can understand it and hear it, whoever is your ideal client. So when the person's on the phone with you, you ask them the question, what's the problem you're facing right now?
Mhm.
They're going to tell you exactly the words you've written down.
Right.
I have blah, 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 blah. Or you got to lead that conversation happen. So they'll tell you exactly what's happening. Then you say, okay, great. I hear that. What's it costing you? What's all costing you, creating for you? They're going to express all the emotions of the problem. They're going to express all the emotions of the problem. They're going to express what it makes them feel like. They're going to express what it's like to live like that. They're going to express what life looks like because of this.
Mhm.
Get it? They're going to express what it looks like, what it feels like, experience of life is. They're going to express that. Your job is to dig that out without saying anything.
Yep.
Tell me more. Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
no,
They tell you all this stuff, right?
Right.
Great. What would you like your life to look like?
Right.
What does it look like after? I would like it to look like this, blah, 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 blah. What's stopping you from creating that?
Mm-hmm.
You know what they're going to say most of the time? I don't have a plan. They're going to say something about themselves. Now that's where you got to go, well, from what you've shared, I think you're actually a perfect client and for what I'm going to be offering very soon. You have your permission to share that. And then you share it. You share it with them. And you share with them, look, over the next 6 months or 3 months or 2 weeks or year, we're going to walk through 3 key steps. This is what it's going to look like. And these emotions are going to come up, and we're going to work on those emotions. These
Okay.
experiences you're creating, these experiences you have is going to come up. We're going to work through that together. You're going to have the support you need to get through this.
Mhm.
But listen, you want to what your life's going to look like after.
Mhm.
And then you pause. You don't need to say anything else. You pause. Everybody wants to say more. Everybody wants to say more. They want to tell them the price. They want to tell them everything. Well, are you ready to move forward? Can you please move forward? Would you like to move forward? No, you pause. Let them connect.
Mhm.
Let them connect to what it is. You got to give the space for them to connect.
Yep.
They connect to it. They go, they're going to guarantee the next question is going to be, well, what does it cost?
Mhm.
I want to enroll them before they know the cost. That's my rule. And I
Okay.
choose to do that. I choose to enroll before I tell them the cost, because if you make it based on price, this is my question now. If you make it based on price, what will you create?
Something cheap.
There you go. Your answer. And notice I paused. I didn't tell you the answer to that. That's your
No.
answer. Someone
Right.
else's answer is something different. But you
Right.
said something cheap. Well, do you want something cheap, or do you really want the life that we described?
Right. Right. Right.
Which one do you want? Which one do you want, Amy?
Right. The life we described, right?
Great. Well, what do you need to hear from me to move you forward so that you're clear you're moving forward no matter what the price is?
Everybody needs to write these questions down, because
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and-
a strong leader asks great questions. What people try to convince in sales are trying to get with the perfect magic words.
Yeah.
So the come from is different. So
Yeah,
he's
and
asking
so-
clear questions.
So the thing is that I put stuff
I don't
out
think
there
that landed, Amy.
Amy, hear what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's not
Sorry.
landing.
Yeah.
You're typical in being driven, right? And so you're definitely driven. So let that land. Like
Okay.
the question he asked is, what do you need to hear from me? What do you need to hear from me in order to be able to say yes?
Oh, I thought he was saying that I should say that to the person I'm
No,
talking to. What
I'm doing
I-
that with you.
Yeah, but she should be saying that. You
Yeah.
should be saying
I
that
should be
to the
saying
person. We say that
Okay.
all the time because
Okay.
it disrupts people's emotions. And
What do I need from you
Circumstances.
is
It
there's
interrupts
like,
circumstances and emotions.
is that I'm getting caught up in like scenarios. So like I get emails of people saying, I want to take your decision parenting class.
Great.
And, but
What's
I
the number
think
one problem you're facing?
not enough people.
No. Hear
And
what
I-
I'm saying. What you just said.
Uh-huh.
Amy, I want you to listen. So
Yeah.
could you repeat what you just said? Repeat what you just said.
There's not enough people,
No, before that, what did you say?
but there's not enough people.
No, hold on. Before, but what did you say? The phrase you said before, but there is not enough people. I'm getting a lot of messages. This is what you said. I'm getting a lot of messages from people that want to take my parenting program. But
Yeah.
right after that, you said, but there isn't enough people.
Right.
What do you hear when I say that?
An excuse.
Bingo. It's your leadership.
Okay.
Yeah. So because I'm getting a lot of people. Well, you're either getting a lot of people that want your program, or there isn't enough people. Which one is it?
Well, I'm getting like 5 and I want 500.
Well, how many of the 5 have you enrolled?
5.
You've enrolled 5?
that's great.
Yeah,
So
but
you
I don't charge a lot. I mean, I'm a nonprofit. It's $79. Like I
That-
need to make it
okay.
sustainable.
So everybody listening, I'm going to coach Amy into an enrollment conversation right now. Okay,
Okay.
Amy, so if I have your permission, I'm going to actually coach you and
Yep.
enroll you at the same time.
Perfect.
Excellent. Okay, here's what I know about every business. So I know enough about your business. So the first step we've already covered. What's the number one problem you're facing? What's the number one problem would you say you're facing right now?
With my
In your
business, not enough revenue.
Okay, so that's not the problem. What's the number one problem you're facing that's not generating revenue for your business?
Well, not enough clients. And
Not
my
enough clients.
pricing. And my
So I get-
pricing.
Okay, great. So that's not your number one problem. So notice how I'm going back to the same question. What's the number one problem you're facing in your business that's generating no revenue and not enough people? And I want you guys to hear what I'm doing right now.
Right.
I'm not accepting her answer because it's not answering the question for me. So it's not because she's giving me the wrong answer. And Amy, you're not giving me the wrong answer. And I'm
Right.
looking here because you're here for me.
No, I'm
Um,
looking there, but you're there.
yeah. So I want you to hear this, is that it's not because you're saying that you're answering a question wrong. I'm getting you to ponder. My intention is to get you deeper into your problem. So you can actually see that for yourself, not because of a tactic, because I care enough for you to see it.
Right.
So the result is not enough revenue. So I want you to hear this. The result is not enough revenue and not enough people. But what's the number one problem you have in your business that's not generating enough people or enough revenue? What's the number one problem you're facing?
I think that I'm not doing what it takes in the right space to generate the income and the customers.
Okay, so that's great. You're actually on track, and you're getting to what I'm seeing.
I think I'm doing a mindset shift lately. I'm like, wait, I'm the one in control. I'm allowing people into the committee in my head saying you can't do this or. Okay.
So what is that problem for you? What is that problem for you? What do you think that is? If it's your mindset is coming up, what do you think that problem is?
I think for me, the problem is with the mindset piece is that my whole life I've allowed other people to say what I can and can't do.
Got
and
it.
So I actually,
Go ahead, keep going.
And so lately, my business partner basically sort of has gone way walked out emotionally.
Okay, got it.
Right.
Got
and it was a great gift because I went, what the fuck? Excuse my language.
Okay.
I actually have to be in charge.
Got it. So pause, because what I don't want to do is listen to the story of it and give it any more energy. Okay. Right. So what I'm hearing in that is your leadership. So what you're recognizing is that your leadership in the business matters.
Yes.
Great. Now, what's mechanically missing in a business? And let me just guide you on this. And so what I'm doing, everybody, I'm doing a leading question because I want her to see this, and I'm also moving the conversation along.
Yeah.
There's 4 key ingredients that make a business work. Number 1 is people, having enough people to enroll. Number 2 is going to be a profitable offer, meaning that it generates a profit for a business based on the people that you can serve. Number 3, Number 3 is going to be a proven methodology to create engagement, a promotion strategy. And I don't mean discounting. I don't mean discounting.
No.
And number 4 is a proven methodology to enroll them and serve them. Those are the 4 key ingredients that I stand and I believe. And by the way, that's the solution, by the way, everybody. I'm actually outlining the offer, the opportunity. Those are 4 key ingredients that make a business work. Which one of those 4 do you have mastered?
I have the how, and that I've already served people. So I've done
how many people do you have in it? So when I say people, the number of people to serve, how many people do you have in an email database?
Oh my gosh, like 200. That's why I'm doing a list build.
Okay, great. And when I say a profitable offer, is your offer profitable? Meaning, will you make a business that creates freedom for you with the offer at the price point that you have it?
No.
Great. And so what I mean by a promotion strategy, do you have a way to get them engaged where they're engaged or working with you? They're ready, they're hot, they're like ready to work with you. They're like hardcore, like they're asking, what's pace?
Right.
Do you have that? Do you have that engagement where people, no, got it. No. So what I'm hearing is at least 2 out of the 4 is missing for you.
Yes. And I'm working on one of those, but the second one is like the gap.
Okay, so if you continue on this path where you don't have the 4 key elements to generate success, where will you end up?
Not successful.
Where we are right now.
Or mediocre. Yeah. I mean, I'm not willing to settle for mediocre.
Great. So have you jumped into PACE, by the way?
I have not. I'm doing HCL with my husband, HCL 19 with my husband.
Okay. Great.
It's the 30th wedding anniversary event.
So that's going to solve the leadership.
Yeah, that's the big start.
That's going to solve the leadership.
I've done list power.
Okay, so you've done list power. So you're going to be building an audience.
Yeah. And I have a VA at Hardcore Work. So I'm like putting the pieces together.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, great. So you're piecemealing it.
Yes.
Did you have an opportunity to ever step into PACE?
Yes.
What stopped you? Listen to what you're going to say. This is it. Go ahead. Just say it. Be open and authentic. It's great for everybody here. You're going to serve everybody.
I didn't have clarity.
That's not it.
Money, time, energy. Right.
That's not it. Yeah, exactly. It's money, time,
Okay,
energy.
here's what it is. I'll tell
So
you. I'll tell you what.
hold on, Amy. Hold on, Amy. I'm going to interrupt you because I'm going to coach you. Do you mind if I coach you? Because I will be interruptive when I coach you.
Not at all.
Is that okay with you?
Go. I'm not embarrassed. Yeah,
And
I'm
by
not
the way, I want
embarrassed.
you to-
I'm not
and-
like,
and- Awesome. Awesome. And by the way, I was just showcasing it for everybody else.
No,
You've
you're
got to
good.
ask permission during enrollment. You've got to ask permission during enrollment conversation. So this is for everybody. You've got to ask permission, Amy. So I'm interrupting you. And the reason I'm interrupting you is because, so it's money, time, energy. And guess what? It's not your fault.
Mhm.
Whoever you connected with and shared with you the PACE opportunity, whoever you connect with and shared with you the PACE opportunity, and I'm not blaming them or shaming them, it's an opportunity for them. They weren't effective at outlining the value of the opportunity.
That is correct.
Okay, so let me show you the value of the opportunity. Do you mind if I keep going?
No,
Here's the value of the opportunity.
that one doesn't work.
Great. Great. Green is the color because you're going to make cash, young lady. Green is the color because you're going to make cash, young lady. Okay, so here's the value of the opportunity. You ready?
Yeah.
Your list build right now, based on the way you're going with it, with
Uh-huh.
List Power, is going to be great. It's going to work for you. It's going to generate some people. So let's just say you do the 1-day summit through the List Power. You're going to get the
Yeah.
1,000. What are you
I'm
charging
gonna get-
right now?
Yeah.
What are you
Oh my
charging right
gosh,
now?
I'm charging $79 for a 4-week course that's an hour and a half a week.
Okay. 4 weeks of your time.
Yeah, and it's just an hour and a half.
Okay. So that's your offer. And this offer is not pro.
No.
So you're stuck at step 2. So you can have a list of 1,000 people, but 1,000 people, every single one of them buys.
Right.
You're still not building a scalable business, right? So the next question is, do you have a proven methodology to enroll?
To enroll?
Yeah, engage and enroll, because this is going to be the enrollment piece. And this is going to be the engagement piece.
Can you please just clarify what you mean by engagement and
Engagement
enrollment and
is,
selling?
engagement is when you go down a highway for McDonald's, you see a big sign and you're hungry at the exact same time.
Oh yeah,
And
no, I
you
don't
even
have
like
engagement.
McDonald's. You don't even like McDonald's, but you have no other choices. You got to get off the freeway. That's
Right.
engagement. They know exactly what to do. And you know what they do when you step into McDonald's? What do? There's a counter. You go to the counter. What's the question they ask you? Would you like to make that a meal? And then you
Oh,
say
yeah.
no. Would you like to supersize that meal? Yes. And then they get you, would you like to have a happy meal? No, not a kid's meal, a happy meal. So they have a proven methodology to enroll and serve. If
Right.
you don't have these two pieces down
Yeah.
and you just have this, where
Yeah.
will you end up with your business?
Mediocre.
Mediocre. You won't have a profitable business. You won't have a business with momentum. You'll have a business that's just surviving.
Right.
Okay. So here's what you need to know. You didn't enroll because you said you didn't have enough time, money, or energy. Now, if I was to say, you know what, here's the deal. It's safe. You get to figure it out because you're an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
You got to invest. But here's what I'm going to show you. On the back end of that,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be, that investment is going to be minute compared to what's possible in your business.
Mm-hmm.
So meaning within 5 months, you'll get a return on your investment. You can generate a return on your investment. I can't promise you that, but I can tell you if you do the work, you'll generate that. You'll be on track. You'll be moving further ahead and faster. Because ultimately, can you figure this out on your own? Absolutely. But with coaching, you're going to get speed.
That's right.
With coaching, you're going to get speed. You're not going to need 3 years to figure this out. Anyone on this line, we talked about someone helping them with creating clarity
Mm-hmm.
for their messaging. Yeah. But can everybody create clarity with their messaging? Yes. We're just giving you speed. Just like in the last 3 days, you've experienced speed. Imagine
Yeah,
that being supercharged. Imagine that being supercharged. That's where we're going.
Yeah, like I worked with a client yesterday after the challenge, and after the first year of working with her, she made great money and added hundreds of thousands of dollars to her bottom line. But yesterday I was able to work with her in a VIP day, a half VIP day, which is 2 hours. And we were able to take her business to, she's like, I really want to do 5 million next year. We did 6.7 on her plan, and she only focuses 4 months out of the year. She's got 4 influencer months in the year where I've taken her leadership from where she's at. She's done HCL, so that helps a lot. And now I'm able to give her a plan that she can execute within already her skill set, because she has these 4 P's set up. I can take that now and put a plan that she actually can execute. Meanwhile, she's like, she's now buying like a real estate building with her husband. It's a game changer. Right? Because now it's like they can get exponential wealth growth in their family because they have this extra disposable income. So like, there's just a huge power in getting coaching. I mean, everybody knows it. Do you know what I'm saying? And you guys are getting it. Like you're investing and you're stepping up without a doubt. But what he's showing you is he's showing you the difference between going all the way in PACE. We put PACE and leadership together. It's called PACE 360, where we put them together and you have explosive results.
Well, I felt like I had sort of this moment of going, well, I have energy to do one thing, right? Like I can't do everything.
No, what actually happened was you actually enrolled the coach.
You
actually enrolled whoever was the person working with you. You actually enrolled them in your limitations. And instead of them loving you enough to really take the time to go all the way. And I'm sure they tried, but they weren't able to articulate their leadership in a way to really help you see that if you put these pieces together, you've got more security.
What was an interesting piece for me?
But we can't, Amy.
Okay, so I did not enroll.
This isn't even about us.
Yeah.
But let's just leave it at that, because we're not trying to enroll you in anything right now. We're just trying to demonstrate. And we're 15 minutes. We're 15 minutes over for VIP.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful because that is the picture I needed.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So these are the steps. I just want to give her quickly if you can. So here's the deal. When you work with us in the first 6 months, you should get a return on investment. So this is, by the way, I'm just demonstrating this for everybody.
Which, by the way, in our family, I loosely call him an uncle because he's my stepdad's brother. But he works at one of the top Ivy League, like Cornell, Harvard, like Yale. He works in one of those 3, and he created the entrepreneurial educational system there. And he said, Shanda, last Christmas, he said, Shanda, you have to perform in the first year. People pay us at our Ivy League school, and they're with us for 5, 6, 7 years, and we never have to produce a financial result for them. Like what you do is much harder, because when you guys invest with me, you expect me to create the result with you, which is why we have so much tracking in our programs. But he's 100% right. So when he said 6 months, I'm like, it's so true. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's really powerful. So here's what I want everyone to understand. And Amy, I guess I'm demonstrating it for you. This is what was missing. Highly likely. Yeah. So well, hold on. He's not good. And remember day 1, guys, I have to interrupt these things because I want to make sure nobody thinks you can do this. You can do this. He's actually interrupting stories in leadership and getting down to what people really want and why they want it. Yeah. And he's clear what you need to be successful with our products as an entrepreneur. And Amy, you're enrolled in your time conversation. Mm-hmm. You're enrolled in like limited resources. And Amy, I just coach, just keep sharing with you. That's all. If you get enrolled in your time, money, and energy conversation, you will not survive the first 5 years, which most businesses don't survive. I mean, you may survive it, you may like pedal through, but here's the deal. 98% of the businesses don't make it after 10 years. You know what the number 1 problem they face? Cash flow. Mm-hmm. The number 1 problem you will face in a business for the life of a business will be cash flow. Mm-hmm. The number 1 problem a publicly traded company faces is cash flow. Look at Bloomingdale's. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Look at all the companies that just came out of the woodwork. Like we got to restructure our debt. Right. So you guys think this is a problem for entrepreneurs? This is a problem for a business owner all the way through, for every publicly traded company. This is not a single problem. And so what I want to share with you is this.
Well, hold on, let that land.
Yeah,
Because entrepreneurs somehow think that you're trying to make enough money and never have a money problem. And don't get me wrong, like all these companies like Bloomingdale, they have money in the bank.
Yeah.
So does our T-boy up there as our president. Like everybody's got, the entrepreneurs learn how to stack it away, invest it. But the number one rule at becoming a multimillionaire, billionaire, any of that is you cannot get safe with your money sitting in the bank because you'll get complacent. You got to make the money and you got to invest the money, because if you don't, you'll sit back like any human being will. So a secret to being successful is actually not having a big nest egg. That is the conversation of the middle class, and the middle class is going away.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you need to make a decision right now, everybody. What side of the fence do you want to be on? This side where you're going away and you're going to spend a lifetime of struggle, or this side where you change the train of thought on how you actually take your coaching? Because the coaching of paying yourself first is a winner, but pay yourself first and then move it into an investment. Yeah. The coaching of get married, buy a house, you know, and retire off your house and use your 401k. Your 401k is not beating inflation, but nobody is giving you that advice.
Nobody's talking to you about that
because they're giving you the broke ass advice that they teach us. I'm going to get on a rant that they teach our damn kids in school, right? Is this stuff that is not what is getting us ahead as people in society. And as an entrepreneur, we get to change this because we hire people, which our company is committed to cash flow.
Yeah. And I'll say, and so by the way, time and energy is no different than companies saying, I don't have the resources right now, or we're not willing to make that capital investment. And so the only way to measure company success is on return on capital investment, which is resources. So time, energy, and money. So you need to invest in yourself, Amy, to believe in yourself for once and say, you know what, I'm serious about my business. I'm going to step in. I'm going to close all the back doors. I'm going to do it safe. I'm going to do it because I'm passionate. I'm going to cause a difference for people. When you do that, these four steps in PACE will get you there. What's the step? You invest. You spend $1,500 a month. Plan on it for 5-6 months minimum. Okay. But once you do that, you build not only a list, you learn how to have
$1,500 a month.
Sorry, $1,200 a month.
Yeah, like it's not $1,500 a month.
It doesn't matter how much it is.
He's not in the sales team.
$1,200 a month, whatever it is, whatever that is. So it's $1,200 a month. Then you go, okay, you know what? I need to create a profitable offer. We're going to teach you how to make it profitable. At $74, you're spinning your wheels. You need to be at the bare minimum.
We're not even a nonprofit, and we raised $75,000 in 3 days just a few months ago for a nonprofit. Yeah. You know what I mean? So doing the summit model.
So,
but we also know how to create an offer.
We know how to create that. So you got to create an offer that works, not an offer that makes you survive, offer that works and allows you profit. It's a self-worth conversation here.
We have to go.
Yeah, I know, but I got to finish.
I know, but we're half an hour late right now.
You got to use a way to get people engaged. So we're going to teach you how to get engaged. This is going to take you about 2 to 3 months minimum. And then you got to go into an enrollment period. That's where we're going to give you the most bang for the buck. If you're in PACE, you're going to get the club, right? You get the club, which you get to coach with me every week, once with me, once with Jim.
In our PACE program, you now get the club. We just changed that over to all of our clients now.
And what's going to happen, Amy, is when we're in the club together, you're going to be able to come with me and say, I talked to 5 people. This is what I experienced. And I'm going to coach you so you can break through the experience. And once you break through the loop that you're in and believe in yourself and what you're offering and what you're going at, you break the loop in your finances and you make it a larger loop. But you'll still be in a loop like the rest of us. And you just keep breaking the loop by investing in yourself, believing in yourself, and causing. And you create a great business with that.
So good. So good. Awesome.
So that's what we get to do.
Amy, we're going to say goodbye to you, my love.
Thank you. Oh
awesome.
my gosh.
Okay. So can we mute her too? So that awesome. So
that's how you create, by the way, the offer piece. Yeah. That's what I was doing.
Stop! One time I might have lice. Okay, so you guys, I want to announce, first of all, VIP, thank you for holding on. We're 25 minutes over and we're going to jump on with you guys now. And then I have another VIP day because I am booked solid with VIP days constantly. And I want that for you guys. I mean, we have VIP days at $35,000 for 4 hours with me. Honestly, I cannot keep up with them. We only allow a certain limited in an entire month, because if I'm doing a VIP day with client, it means that I'm not doing lives online. It means that I'm not, doing presentations. You get what I'm saying? Where we're actually making offers. So when I'm in fulfillment and I'm coaching, it means that I'm not on the front end making offers, which means that it slows down the revenue inside the company. And so it actually costs me money to do VIP days. But at one point, it made me money. You get what I'm saying? So at some point in the very near future, I will probably stop doing VIP days next year. And because it just doesn't make sense where the company's at. And then we'll put other people in place to do VIP days for our clients to give them their intensives. So we've got two people that are going to win, that I'm going to pay for my stylist to sit with you. And I'm not a good representation of my stylist right now, my lice-infected body. Nancy Mulligan. So Nancy Mulligan, you are one of them that we loved your commenting, and we loved just your energy and just your engagement on the comment section of today's training. And Eileen Smith Cox. Eileen Smith Cox. We got you as well. So we are going to gift you some time with my stylist. I think it's an hour and a half with her, so that she can support you in just your overall brand look, so that you're dressing and operating in the way that has you elevate to the next level. So other than that, so the homework, I feel like we can't give this homework.
No, we can.
You think so? Okay, go ahead.
I mean, I really think we should, because it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a stretchy move for you guys.
Okay, do it.
I mean, it is. Here's what the homework is. I want you to go out there, just make a list of 20 people. Go to your Rolodex, go to your Facebook communities, go to Facebook in general. I mean, those of you that think you can't get 20 people that have a need or a desire or want for your business, I mean,
hold on, you didn't. Hold on.
Figure it out.
Okay, so what he's saying is that so he wants you to make a list of 20 people. And he wants you to actually go out to that list of 20 people and have conversations with some of them today or tonight. And we want to hear where the conversations went. So I'm gonna shift the homework a little bit in a way that I think will best serve you. I want you to think about, how can I enroll them in something, right? So you've got your course that you created yesterday, if you actually did the homework. Every entrepreneur I know sells things before it's created. When we created the club, which is Ash and our director of sales, Jim, Jim trained for Tony Robbins for many, many years. He's an incredible compliment to Ash. He is really strong on the perfect words and the script and the sales behavior of a human being. And Ash is really strong on the leadership concept with it. And honestly, just the two of them dovetailed together. Was a very smart move on my part to look at these two leaders.
Very smart.
I looked at the two of them and I had to enroll them to bookmark each other, because I was like, these two men together are incredible. And I use them inside of our company to build our enrollment teams and to train them. And so that being said, we created the club. I sold the club before I even really knew what the club was.
Before I knew I was going to be part of it. Even.
That's right. He got told. And so there was a vision, and that's what leaders do, right? I was like, I have this vision. First of all, I grabbed Ash and grabbed Jim, and I was like, you guys need to turn this ship around. Okay. And so they went and turned the ship around. This is why everything is leadership. And I knew their leadership together was going to be strong. And then I was like, I've now put the mask over me and this company. I was like, how do I help other people? Like, I can't create an info product because they don't have Ash and Jim, right? Like, they don't have them. And if I told you to go pay their salaries, you'd say no, because you'd probably say, I don't have the lead gen, which is why tomorrow is so important. You're going to say, I don't have the lead gen to be able to feed them and pay for their salaries. And so I emotionally stop, right? So I was like, okay, I'll create the club and let you guys borrow my sales trainers to be able to help you enroll yourself or build sales teams for yourself, wherever you're at in the steps of growing a business. And so I sold it before I ever created it. So I share all of that with you, because it's okay if you don't know what you're doing. It's okay. You just have to have a vision of a destination that you want to take people to. And that's what you sell. You sell the destination. And so
what's brilliant about that
Babe,
though,
I've got to
is
end,
we
love
were
bug.
solving the problem
Yeah.
inside the house, and we
Yeah.
were using our own skill sets. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
aligned with
So I just want to wrap up though,
yeah,
okay?
go ahead. I got you.
Thank you, love. Okay.
My coffee now.
Get your damn coffee. So,
You guys.
so I love you. Okay. So I want you to go out, make a list of 20 people tonight. Just do it. Okay. Just do it and start walking through them. If you call 10 and they don't answer, keep going, call them back. Like, don't stop at settling for less. Get on the phone with somebody, have a conversation with them, and see if you can enroll them in your product or service. Now, if you're just like, Shanda, I just won't do that. Well, then you got to look at your leadership there, right? Because you're just practicing. You don't have to do anything. If they buy from me, and give them their money back, if you don't want to do it. It's just go through the actual process of having an enrollment conversation with them. Secondly, the other way that you can go about this is you can look at people maybe that have said no to you in the past. And you could call them up, and they could be on the list of 20, and just say, I just wanted to check in with you. I call it the Christmas campaign. We call it Christmas campaign in Hardcore. We just call random people up that have either, worked with us in the past, or maybe said no to us about coming to work with us. And we just check in with them. Hey, I just wanted to check in with you. It's been a while since we talked. I just wanted to know, how's your business, or how's your relationship, or how's your fitness, or hey guys, you just want to check in, see how are they. So you guys enroll as leadership, which means it's really just a conversation. And the things that you need to know, can you walk over here with me? The things that you need to know in a conversation like this. You need to know what somebody wants. That's the target. You need to know what somebody wants. Ideally, it would be great if you knew why they wanted it, because that's their motivator. I always write that down on a piece of paper. You need to know what's stopping them. That's what Ash was referring to as what's the problem? What is the problem you're facing? Okay. And then this plan is really just your advice. Like on the empathy model, where that falls on the empathy model is like what you think would solve it. It's not your offer. It's just giving to them. Like, what advice would you give them? Right? That's kind of the plan. You're leading somebody somewhere. You're not even at an offer yet. You're just having a humanness conversation. And then a CTA. Like, a CTA is like a call to action. What could you call them to action to? I would love you to make an offer for your product or service, which means that if you ask them what they want, if you're a fitness instructor or you're a nutritionist, you'd be like, so how are you doing in your fitness? How are you doing in your nutrition? They start to open up and tell you to say, well, what do you really want? What do you really want in that area of your life? Why is that important to you right now? What's the problem? What's stopping you from actually having that? Then just give them some advice, right? Like, just help them, serve them, be a good human being. No different. Take the pressure off, right? No different than what you would do anywhere else with someone that wasn't going to pay you anything. And then if you're bold and confident enough, just go ahead and say, well, I actually have a product or service that I just created that, or maybe you have one for a while, that I think would probably be a good fit for that. Would you mind if I shared that with you? And they will say yes. If you need a pricing structure, we're not at pricing structure yet, but it's good for you to just walk through this and just give it a shot. Just freaking make something up. Just make something up. Just make a decision. Money loves speed. I make stuff up all the time. Just make it up. So you might say, well, it's a $400 deposit now and X amount of dollars a month. Or you might just say, I'll do it for you for $300. I don't care what the price points are right now. All I care about is you going all the way through and your emotions coming up. I know that the number one reason why you don't buy or you don't sell, is because of your emotions. And so let's do the work. Let's do the work. Let your emotions come up. Walk through, like confusion gets me, or, I need to have it perfect and figure it out. Like, just break all of that. Because when you break all, I literally, I'm not going to get in that story, but if you break all of that, you're just going to find resistance lowers, and then you can handle more. You can do back-to-back campaigns. You can, do IVF like I'm doing and still have like 1, 2, 3, 4 events in 3 weeks. And, I'm still having dinner with my family and, doing lice checks in the morning. And you know what I mean? Like, I'm still like we are laughing and joking. Like, we're loose. We're just whatever, it's like, we're not worried about whether something's going to work or not work, or, we're just not in that energy because we just don't live there, And so I just share this with you because we got to work through these emotions so that you can get on the other side of them. And that was one of the big fundamental pieces about doing the revenue challenge. So who's up for the challenge? Who's up for the challenge? Who's up for the challenge? I want to know who's up for the challenge. I love that your stomach is turning. That's good. Just so you know, if you ever become a PACE client of mine, I will teach you my I Solve model, which is a 5-step selling model. And in that 5-step selling model, I will send your tushy out there for 20 minutes to sell. And you have to come back within a moment. And I only give you 20 minutes to do it. And almost everybody in the room sells. And it's a huge confidence builder for everybody in the mastermind, because they're like, holy, you know what? I cannot believe that it's always been that easy to enroll and to sell. And no, it's not the perfect script. It's not the perfect, we do give scripts, we do give all of that, but that's only for you analyzers or your controllers that like have to get it perfect. And then you get to me at one point and I'm like, I need to shatter all of those emotions for you to be financially free. So we give them to you guys because you think you need them. And because you think you need them, we have to give them to you, or you won't even step into programs, products, and services with us because you're so righteous about what you think you need. And I'm telling you, your emotions have got to loosen up. So go out there, take it on, do your list of 20. If you can't figure out a list of 20, then you better be on tomorrow's training because your list is the problem. Okay, so at the very least, every single one of my clients can go out there that have been with me for a few months, can go out there and they can go and they would have no emotional trigger around this. They will have done it before I finish talking. They will have sent out a text or an email or something, and they're in the field of prosperity. They can put themselves in the game. You see what I'm saying? And that's really important to be able to do that. Okay, VIPs, I'm going to shift over to you guys. So you guys have the homework. I want to hear about the homework inside the Facebook group. I know what it is. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to give away 2 spots in our List Power Intensive coming up this month. I'm going to train you for 3 days how to build a buyer's list, like all the way through. So if I see you do the homework in the group and you're fired up and you're like ready to go and you're lighting up the video and you're like, oh my God, I just did a call, or I just made my list of 20, anything. I want to hear anything. I want to see you go and actually take this coaching and go. Tell me about the emotions that came out. Tell me, but get to the point. So no videos longer than 2 minutes. No videos longer than 2 minutes. If you have a video over 2 minutes, then I'm 86ing you from winning this prize, okay? So we want you to get to the point. We want you to tell me what's coming up for you. Go in the group right now and tell me what's coming up for you before you even do it, right? Like, let's go. Let's fire this challenge up. And so I'm going to give away 2 tomorrow morning. I'm going to give away 2 seats in my List Power Intensive. Okay, guys, 2 seats. So much love to you. Good luck tonight on your homework.